Ain't playing with nobody. You step in that ring with him, be prepared.
Oh my God. All day. There you go. That's it. That's it. Just relax. There you go. Just relax. Round.
Fighter is his experience, his toughness, his cardio. He has a lot of heart and he knows that I'm coming to win, and they're saying that this is the hardest he's ever been training.
Peeling back in terms of some of that discipline. But, training camp happens, if he's locked in and he's looking to make a show and try and knock this guy out, I wouldn't be surprised either. Does he have the gas? Yeah. Even though he's dealing with a bigger guy, it's still, he's been 10, 12 rounds in real fights. Jake hasn't. Jake has shown that he's got tired out in fights.
Jake Paul's confidence is at an all-time high as he prepares for his clash with Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Known for his outspoken nature and fearless energy, Jake isn't pulling any punches this time around. His arrival near Tank's training camp has already stirred the pot, adding even more heat to the build-up. With Davis perfecting his trademark power and speed, and Jake pushing himself harder than ever, everything's lining up for an explosive showdown.
Yeah, so right now I just want to see what he brings to us. We just got off the plane. A lot of work yesterday from the interviews and stuff, so I want to see how he react. 2 sparring partners, and rounds is unknown.
All right, y'all. Let's go. Bam!
When they watch us in here working, they saying we going bang, 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 bang.
There you go. Good. There you go.
When he get in that ring, he's on a mission. Because he understand that he got to put his pants on, training wheels going. You got what you asked for. Let's get it now.
Jake Paul is in the grind like never before, training with laser focus, discipline, and a hunger to evolve. He says this camp is unlike any he's had before, promising to unveil a whole new level of skill, sharper combinations, smoother footwork, and smarter movement inside the ring. Jake insists he's ready to shock the world when he steps up against Gervonta Davis.
Classic, pick him apart, and people are going to be able to see the skill set that I've been working on in the gym that I haven't been able to showcase in recent fights yet.
For Gervonta "Tank" Davis, this isn't just another fight or a quick payday, it's personal. Taking on Jake Paul, the YouTuber-turned-boxer who's made a name for himself with unexpected victories, means defending his pride and his legacy. The undefeated world champion has been grinding through a brutal training camp, pushing himself past his limits to make sure there's absolutely no room for error. His intensity in the gym says it all. This fight means something to him. Boxing analyst Pauli Malignaggi recently pointed out that while Jake Paul's fights aren't scripted, they're often strategically built to his advantage. But this time, he's up against a fighter who thrives under real pressure, someone who's lived and breathed boxing his entire life. Tank knows that in this sport, one mistake can become viral history, and that thought alone is driving him to prove why he's still one of the most dangerous men in the ring.
Knockouts. People like knockouts. They don't care if you're knocking out cab drivers. Look at Jake Paul's career.
You can manufacture that though. You can manufacture knockouts.
You can't manufacture.
To a
Gervonta
degree,
Davis.
you can. To a degree. I mean, you can't. Yeah, Gervonta legitimately cannot get knockouts. I agree. He can punch, but there's a lot of limited knockout artists though, man.
He's one of the least active punchers in the game with the highest knockout percentage of current heavyweight.
But if he was a real knockout artist,
champions.
If he was a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best of the best. Felix Trinidad was a knockout artist. He was knocking out the best of the best. If you're a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best and show us how he smokes them. But the way Wayne did when Felix Trinidad was doing it. The way they did when Mike Tyson was doing it in his prime. Say what you want about the Mike Tyson era. He knocked out everyone from 1986 to 1989. Everyone got knocked out. Everyone.
Well, by your standard, you could say that Tyson was to a degree manufactured.
No,
and
because
Teddy
he fought everyone that was there. Everyone that was there at that time fought.
Teddy Ellis will 100% agree with this
with the expense of
Witherspoon. That were afraid of him.
With the exception of Witherspoon. No, but they all, doesn't matter. He knocked them all out. There was nobody you could say in that era except maybe Witherspoon, who had contract issues with King at the time. Except for Witherspoon, there is nobody Tyson didn't fight in that era. He knocked them all out. You can't say but if he would have fought that guy, I don't know. No, with Davis, there's guys right now that have been hanging around for years. Yo, dude, when are you going to fight them? The lightweight division was stacked with talent. Even at 130, it had a lot of talent when he was there. didn't fight almost any of them. So it's not the same thing as the Tyson era. You want to say anything about Tyson era? Fine. It wasn't as high level or something. He's still not.
Teofimo Lopez, another top-tier boxer, shared an interesting take on the matchup, saying it should be viewed more as entertainment than a true sporting contest. In his eyes, the weight difference and celebrity influence make this less about rankings or legacy, and more about creating a global spectacle. Lopez compared it to the new wave of entertainment boxing, where the main goal is pulling massive audiences rather than climbing the official ranks. While many fans agree with that view, others argue that for Gervonta Davis, pride won't allow him to take any fight lightly. Lopez's comment reflects how the sport has evolved in recent years, a world where fighters like Jake Paul blur the line between show business and boxing tradition, bringing millions of fresh eyes to the sport, even if the purists still roll theirs.
Matchup is fun for the sport of boxing. It makes it fun. It makes it entertaining. That's what it is all about. You know, and may the best man win. It's an exhibition regardless. It doesn't count.
Doesn't count? Yeah. We need to see you and Tank though. Has to happen.
What happened?
It has to happen, you and Tank.
We'll see, man. It's up to the champ. He's the champ, right? He's fighting. He's a celebrity champ.
One of Jake Paul's former sparring partners recently sounded a serious warning. He claimed that Jake has never faced the kind of destructive power Gervonta "Tank" Davis carries into the ring. According to him, Jake's confidence stems from stopping MMA fighters, opponents who, while tough, don't possess Tank's lightning-fast speed, precise timing, or surgical punching accuracy. He explained that Tank's danger isn't just in raw strength, it's in the way he explodes with pinpoint precision. Jake might believe his size gives him the edge, but all it takes is one clean shot from Tank to completely change that mindset. That warning echoes what many experts already believe. Jake Paul is stepping into the most dangerous fight of his career, against a natural knockout artist who thrives when the pressure is highest.
I think honestly, man, like every single time, you know, people said that Jake would get finished or he would lose a fight, he obviously proved everybody wrong. But I genuinely believe this time, I think that, you know, with Gervonta's boxing IQ and him having Jake come down a little bit in weight, I think Gervonta will beat him, honestly. I think Gervonta will hurt him. I think he'll just use IQ. He'll tire him out a little bit. And, you know, I think he'll land. You know, Gervonta knows how to touch his opponents. But it's interesting because when Floyd fought Logan, the size really made a big, you know, impact. And you saw Floyd struggle, you know, against a big, you know, Ohio corn-fed, you know, wrestling strong dude. And, you know, I've sparred Jake and Logan before, and, you know, they train hard.
You're picking Tank by knockout?
Look, I sparred them years ago. They're much better than when I sparred them. They're athletes. You know, they train really hard. I think they work harder than...
Former world champion Tim Bradley recently shed light on the personal and professional pressure Gervonta "Tank" Davis faces behind the scenes. He reminded fans that fighters aren't machines. They're human beings carrying the weight of years spent under constant public scrutiny. Bradley expressed genuine concern, noting that the non-stop criticism from media and social platforms can create mental fatigue that easily bleeds into performance. Yet despite all that, Tank has stayed resilient, using that outside noise as fuel for his training. Bradley believes that if Davis can keep his emotions in check and stay disciplined, his raw talent and experience will completely overshadow Jake Paul's limited ring background. His message was clear: while Jake thrives in the spotlight of online fame, Tank carries the pressure of representing the sport itself, and that's a very different kind of burden.
Tank, you know what I mean? I was misinformed. You know, you gotta know what somebody's going through, man, or have gone through, and where they've ended up. Now, you have to understand that. You gotta understand their DNA, you know, and we as fans, we fail to realize that. We as commentators and fanboys and all that, like, we all don't do that. We don't do our research. You know, you gotta know about somebody's history. So, like, if you understand where Tank came from, if you understand his background, then you understand how he thinks and why he feels the way he feels. You know, you do. So, I mean, for instance, like, his parents, right? His parents were drug addicts, in and out of the system, in and out of jail. You know, he lived with his grandmother. You know, like, you gotta understand when he started boxing, why he started boxing. Understand that, you know, that what the influence that Calvin has had on his life, and how if their relationship isn't great, how that affects him. And this is not making any excuses, people. This isn't. I'm not making no excuses. I'm just giving you what I think, and I'm giving you the facts surrounding all of this. You know, I remember back in 2012, You know, I'm living right. I'm living civil. I'm taking care of my business. I feel like I'm doing everything right. You know, I'm living right. I'm saying all the right things. You know, I want people to love.
The promotional build-up for this fight has been massive. Non-stop interviews, viral training clips, and social media hype flooding every corner of the internet. But interestingly, reports suggest that ticket sales haven't quite matched the buzz. Despite the huge attention online, fans seem hesitant to pay top dollar for seats. Some critics believe that many viewers see the fight as more spectacle than sport, which might explain the slower sales. Still, the marketing machine hasn't slowed down. With Jake's mainstream fame and Gervonta's boxing credibility keeping the headlines alive, it's a reflection of modern boxing's strange reality, where massive online hype doesn't always equal packed arenas. Even so, both teams are banking on global pay-per-view buys and streaming audiences to make this event a financial knockout.
And when his fight first got announced, I told y'all, the promo, when they start promoting it, it is going to be fire. The promo will be better than the fight, right? Because obviously, I don't like the fight. I'm not a fan of the fight. I cannot stand the decision for Tank to go in this direction, although I understand it, right? I understand it because I understand the business behind it. So I get all of that. But the promo is fire. If you go watch it, the way that is shot, the production of it looks very, very top of the line, top shelf, as you would expect from a company as big as Netflix, which is a $530 billion company. So they have the budget, they have the money to make sure their production is A1. Obviously, as a Tank Davis fan, paying attention to him in the promo, the young man looks in good spirits. He looks like he's in a good headspace, and he doesn't look like he's unhappy to be there, which bodes well for the prospects of him continuing his boxing career, I guess, not retiring. And I think that as he gets closer to the fight, as the fight happens, he'll be in this happy place. And I expect for Tank fans, for boxing fans, to get really good news after Tank Davis and Jake Paul share the ring and they do the post-fight press conference. I think that a lot of people will probably be happy with the outcome of what Tank Davis has to say after that fight. But the promo is fire. It's just a trailer. It's up on the Netflix YouTube channel. Go check it out if you haven't already. Really enjoyed watching that promo. Watched it a couple of times. And as I said, I'm paying attention to the press conferences. I'm paying attention to the build-up because I feel like there's a chance.
Analysts have often noted Jake Paul's calculated approach to picking opponents, fighters with big names but relatively controllable risk. His choice to take on Gervonta Tank Davis fits that strategy perfectly. It guarantees global attention while giving Jake the opportunity to say he's stepping up against a legitimate world champion. During their face-off, though, one thing caught everyone's attention: the size difference. Jake towered over Tank, his frame noticeably larger, while Tank stood calm and composed, radiating quiet confidence. Commentators described the scene as both fascinating and a little surreal, pointing out how undersized Tank appeared beside Jake. But seasoned boxing fans know better. Size doesn't always translate to dominance. Many interpreted Tank's unbothered stare as a silent message. He's used to breaking down bigger men, and his track record proves that his power carries far beyond his weight class.
Why are you not fighting guys your own fucking size? Look at this, John. This is embarrassing. And not to mention, Georgia already said, no, you can't have this fight here. So they moved it somewhere else. Dave, do you know where they moved the fight? Can you look it up? Yeah. This is embarrassing. Look, he actually put his hands on his knees and he was still the same height, maybe a little bit taller than Gervonta Davis. I mean, I'm all in on Gervonta. I want Gervonta to win this fight. I want him to. I'm not saying he can knock him out, but I think if he hits him to the body a couple times, John, he may be able to catch him. A lazy jab or something, he might be able to pop him to the body and get him good. I'm hoping. Jake Paul down with a body shot.
Oh man.
Oh geez.
Could you imagine?
I would. It'd be great.
It's a win right there.
It'd be fucking great.
Miami.
Oh, they moved to Florida. Makes sense. The only place that opened up during COVID makes sense.
I mean, what's your thoughts on this fight? I know it's an exhibition. I believe it's rounds.
Look at Gervonta Davis is a hell of a fighter, but he's and I think that the one thing that Jake Paul is really going to have to try to figure out in this fight is how do I catch this little son of a bitch, because he's fast, and Gervonta, I would, I'm not telling Gervonta Davis to cut down and weight like he normally does. Just get in shape. Whatever you weigh. Don't try to add weight. There's not enough time for you to add good weight that's not going to make you tighter and anything like that. So just come in at your normal, walk around, good weight. You've been training hard.
Boxer Bruce Carrington offered an interesting perspective, arguing that fights like Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis actually injecting new energy into the sport. He explained that crossover matchups attract younger audiences, social media viewers, and even people who normally wouldn't tune into boxing at all. Carrington acknowledged that while traditionalists may frown upon the entertainment aspect, these events bring priceless exposure. He compared it to the sport's earlier eras, when personality and showmanship were just as important as pure skill in creating global stars, and his view, celebrity-driven fights aren't ruining boxing, they're reshaping it for the modern world. By appealing to a generation that experiences sports through highlights, memes, and viral clips, Jake Paul and others like him are helping the sport evolve with the times.
It's entertainment, right? But this what this is sports entertainment. This is what's going to put butts in the seat, believe it or not. This is what's going to, bring a lot of money to the sport. Especially, we have people trying to say boxing is dead, boxing is dying. But, we have a whole demographic of people that don't even watch boxing, interested in boxing. So I like to look at it that way. Like we're making these fantasy dream matchups come to life with Floyd and Tyson, And to be honest, I'm a little biased because Floyd, he is my favorite fighter of all time. And Tyson, he is a guy that basically made me fall in love with boxing. And he's like the icon, the myth, the legend for me. So it was like them two fighting. It's like, yo, that's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So and then on top of that, it's an exhibition, bro. It's not something to be taken serious. It's something that is for the people to just enjoy and watch. It's an exhibition. It's not like they're making it a sanctioned fight. Now, Jake and Tank, are they making that a sanctioned fight? I think they are.
They're trying to. It's a lot of moving parts right now with that.
Yeah, so I think that's that's where certain things become an issue, because now you're putting it into a serious space. You know what I'm saying? Which it shouldn't be. It's honestly, if it's sanctioned, how the heck they gonna I don't know, bro. I don't know how the heck.
Former world champion Carl Froch has voiced serious concern about the physical mismatch between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. He warned that the clear gap in size and strength could pose real safety risks if not handled properly. Froch speaks from experience. He understands just how dangerous it can be when fighters from different weight divisions share the same ring, especially when one carries genuine knockout power. His comments highlight a broader issue facing boxing today: the growing trend of celebrity and crossover fights that sometimes prioritize marketing over matchup safety. Froch's concern isn't about questioning either fighter's ability. It's about protecting the integrity of the sport and ensuring that fairness and safety remain front and center, even in exhibition bouts.
Take Jake Paul, that's serious. He can't really box. He can have a little fight, he can have a swing. Swings away, stands up straight, and he throws punches, but it's not professional boxing. Because when I watch him box, it's just so much wrong. It's just everything's wrong. It's so bad. He's got leaky defense. He telegraphs his punches. Like, you put him in with someone his own size, it was a professional, and it's a mismatch. And you'll see that if he ends up fighting somebody. Tommy Fury, bless him, he's a pro boxer, but he's inexperienced. He's got no amateur pedigree. He's a raw novice, or maybe just above the raw novice. I was saying earlier, where would I put him in terms of levels? He'd do well to win a British title. He's at that sort of level, and then from British title to world level, it's like different worlds. It's like totally different.
Hanel Moton, a rising star closely connected to Gervonta Davis's camp, spoke with full confidence about the upcoming fight, declaring that Tank will dominate from start to finish. He explained that Davis regularly spars with fighters much bigger than himself, even heavyweights, making Jake Paul's size advantage virtually meaningless. Moton stressed that Tank's real weapon isn't just his power, it's his fight IQ. Few boxers can close distance, read timing, and exploit openings the way he does. Jake's larger frame might look imposing, but in the ring, precision and intelligence often beat pure size. His comments reveal the mindset within Davis's inner circle, complete belief that this fight is another chance for their champion to silence the doubters and remind everyone why he's one of boxing's most clinical finishers.